Yo guys, welcome to this new video. Today I watched Henry Danger, the movie. Alright, so yes, in the following 3 weeks I will review a lot of movies that came out earlier this year, but I am on vacation for 3.5 weeks. I'm going to America. I'm living the American dream right now. So I have some movies that I have watched beforehand just to make sure that I could review them during my holiday trip, and this is one of the first ones. Henry Danger is one of those Nickelodeon shows that is airing right now, or actually started airing in 2014 already, or maybe even earlier, and it's still relevant. It's something like the Thundermans that I reviewed last year, or I didn't review it, but I did watch that movie because they also made a movie, and I know the Thundermans and Henry Danger did some kind of collab a few years ago, but I have to say I'm just too old for these kind of things, so I am not watching these series on Nickelodeon or on the soap or on the things that they are on right now. I think it's Nickelodeon. It's on Nickelodeon. It's a Nickelodeon movie. A few weeks ago, I also reviewed Dora and the Search for Soldorado, which is also a Nickelodeon movie, which was also not made for me. Hey, look at that. All right, but I watched this movie because I want to know what kids are up to these days. I want to know what drives them, what is now famous on TV and TikTok and stuff like that, because in my time, I had Wizards of Waverly Place, I had The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, I had Hannah Montana, I had Sunny with a Chance, which is one of the more oddballs. I have no idea what my cats are doing. It's one of more the oddballs, Sunny with a Chance, but it was still very popular and starred Demi Lovato, which is also great. And of course Victorious and stuff like that. And oh my god, like Carly and nostalgia. It's great. Still have to watch Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. What the fuck are you doing? But today we are talking about Henry Danger, the movie. And I have to say, I had never seen anything from Henry Danger before, just some clips that aired online on YouTube, where there was this musical number in Swellview, which was pretty funny. I have to say that I respected that because it made me laugh as an adult. And whenever you can do that, would it kill children? So good thing on you. So I thought like, okay, I'm gonna give this one a shot, and I have to say, it was better than I expected. Like with the Thundermans movie, the Thundermans Return, I had some annoyances towards the story, towards the characters, and towards, most obnoxiously, the CGI, which was really bad. And I have a feeling it's better in here. The CGI is still not very great. It's still very low-budget TV budgets style CGI, but it's better. And the story that they told in here, I thought also was better. Now, I do have some complaints about the story because, well, what they decided to tell here was something going to alternate realities, which is kind of overly done nowadays in the last few years, but hey, I can take that. The thing is that I felt like the character they had written for Henry Danger itself, or Kid Danger, didn't really feel like it was written for a guy who has existed for 11 years. I feel like the story they had written for him felt more like, okay, this is a guy that's pretty hard in the beginning of his self-discovery and her hero's journey, but when you'd have done it for 11 years, even if you was a sidekick before and then became the leading figure yourself, I still felt like, okay, this guy sometimes is maybe a little bit too much of an asshole for what we are doing in here. Of course, I have no relationship to the sidekicks and to all these other side characters. I did like Schwartz very much, if I don't butcher his name right now. And yeah, of course, we have this plot where they go to alternate dimensions. I have to say that I think this one did it better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. In this movie, they go to multiple variants and not just for a second. There's this little animated segment which I hoped would have been a little bit longer, but I get why they didn't do that. And for the rest, I don't say that this movie is better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I just think that this is more Multiverse of Madness than Multiverse of Madness was. I do think Multiverse of Madness is the better movie. I think Henry Danger, the movie, is making more use of its premise, I guess. It was really weird, and having those stories in form of fan fictions that were now coming to life was just pretty funny to me. And to see different versions of these characters that I had never seen before was also pretty funny. There was a moment where I was sending a message on my phone and I looked back and suddenly one of the side characters from early in the movie came back and I was like, oh, how did he suddenly get there? But it was a variant of him, and I only way I noticed it was because he was fighting speaking English instead of fighting speaking Spanish. That's pretty funny in my opinion. So I absolutely did like what I have seen here, but the story is just still pretty mediocre. The characters, I wasn't really a big fan of Henry Danger, which is a sad thing because the movie is about Henry Danger, and I liked some of the sidekicks more than I liked Henry Danger itself. I still think it should have been better. It could have been better, but I'm also not a target audience. So what am I to what do I have to say? I'm gonna give Henry Danger the movie 2.5 stars. I thought it was pretty fine. What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching. Bye bye.